And we're live one more time. You know, before I get started, let me just say I'm exploding with universal knowledge and information that if I don't just pour it out, I feel bloated and I can't focus and I don't know what I'm doing. All I can see is these teachings and these messages that I have to get out. And so I try to force them out so I move on with my day. I've been making videos lately. First one didn't have audio. It's happened twice. They were really intense videos. Then I made one yesterday that I didn't upload at all because it was extremely intense, where I had to cry at the altar and just surrendered my masculine desires. What does that mean? My need for power, pride, and control over specific areas of my life. And there was some other, it was in the middle of teaching you quantum tarot, and I chose not to even upload that one. I just made a video this morning trying to explain how, from the Seraphim's point of view, I was up with the Seraphim at that moment, trying to explain how God's creations are and how you were ultimately made to love Him. I spend all these words and it's cool, and I know that, you can get the gist of it, but I just don't want to even bother with you. I just don't believe that you can do it. That you even do it, meaning understand it, and why you would even want to understand it, because it's not something you're applying in your life. This is a scary-ass card that came out last night. I asked God how He was going to get my enemies, and He said He was going after their children. Just for shits and giggles to make me feel better, I'm currently shuffling the Demon Tarot. What are demons? Angels, bro. Fucking angels. That have dominion over man's sin. Power to manipulate man's sin. But no more than walking versions of man's sin. Learning the lessons of man. That's all that means. I was teaching about... I started off with the Tree of Life, which we're always talking about. The Tree of Knowledge and Wisdom, where all life comes from. I just don't want to. Give me a minute. Why don't you want to? Because I don't think it's... I'm being a jerk about it. You need the understanding. But what do you do with this? What do you do with this understanding? I did an enormous teaching, like I said, the other night with Krishna about the intricacy of the universe and how that lies within your mind. And ultimately, going down to those deep, dark thoughts, those are angels, dark angels in your mind, a piece of a dark angel that lies within you that you're not overcoming. You know what I mean? The polarity of what it is. Accept what it is, but don't give in to what it is. And that's something as simplistic as last night. I want to beat the shit out of this bitch. Okay, you're validated in that feeling, but don't act in it. Honor it. Respect it. Did you need to fight to get out of this? No. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's like there's a time for force. There's a time for action. You know what I mean? To really act in those feelings. There's a time where you need to raise up in your rage and, you know what I mean, protect yourself. But never in the sense of hurting another. I'm gonna fight like a mountain lion if I have to or something. Get off me. But in the essence, it's like, it's not about, just whatever. The duality of what they call is your sinful mind and sinful actions. It's just, you fell to temptation. That's all that fucking means. I'm supposed to get you to rise to the occasion, and I'm fucking severely burnt out on the bullshit. I've given it to you a million ways since last Sunday, and they want me to do this every fucking week for the rest of my life. Try to give you enough knowledge and wisdom for you to get it. Are you getting this? And then it goes back to somebody like Wolfman. He wants the Tree of Life tattooed on his back. And I'm 150,000%, 144,000% sure that he doesn't actually know anything about the Tree of Life, other than what he's read in some books. He has this imagination painted, by the context of his mind that this is reality. but this is what it looks like. It's a place where you act. It's you know, it's a real tree, and it has gates, and it has, you know, whatever they fucking told you. It's all in your imagination. You're traveling through your imagination, not to a place that you've really been, but a place you're trying to create in the context of your mind, based on the words that you're reading. I'm supposed to paint it real for you, but the real reality is it's right here. And that's beyond your mental understanding. How do you access the other worlds? Within you? It's not a place. You ain't gotta go nowhere to be everywhere. And that was my earlier video. I was trying to explain the substance of soul and how it's not in one place and how God is in all things. Oh man, my head. Okay, I need a different perspective of this. Hold on. What is it? I feel like I'm Albert Einstein and I got locked in a foreign land trying to teach them English. Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, just give me a minute. It'd be one thing, you know what I mean? Like if I was sitting down with a bunch of people that I could look in their eyes and I know that they know what I'm talking about and they're keeping up with the conversation and they have some understanding. But you don't, and I'm supposed to make you understand. And that's the frustrating part about this. Trying to give you understanding. How am I supposed to do this? That's an impossible feat. It's like trying to change your mind. And then you go back to, okay, maybe I'm just sharing history. What if I look at it like that? Well, that's dumb. I don't want to read fucking bedtime stories to fucking adults. I look at it like this. Why don't you get a fucking book and read? Oh, man. I'm a little negative on my job today. I just don't feel like doing the job because the job just keeps getting heavier. The teachings are. And they want these teachings out because they need this in the documentary. Can we just... And that came out yesterday. What's your new inspiration? The documentary. I'm back there. I'm going to put more work into it for the next full moon. I'm going to work on this till the full moon. And actually probably for longer than that. But at least for the next full moon, I got to be working on that. Which is what? More of the writing of it, to be honest. It's not more, I just need to, you know, start narrating it, putting it into words. The narration of what the story is behind all of the visuals and shit. What I do right here. Or what God does through me. Did you guys get your new inspiration for the new moon? Are you feeling new in the moon? Alright, let's see. God damn it. How am I going to teach you this? There's many books I can teach you, but it's just like, are you getting this? Do you understand what the Tree of Life is? Let's start with Jewish mysticism, where it all starts. Jesus was a Jew. Oh, God. I just want to point out, there was no fucking Tree of Life in Egyptian fucking beliefs. There's no Tree of Life in all of this. You know what I mean? We have to go back to the... What am I saying? As I sit here looking at my fucking... What is that book? So look at the freaking... Mormon Bible. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What are we doing? Trying to show you God. Here it is. I found it. The Essential Kabbalah. I guess you need some fucking cards to go with this bullshit too. They're telling me we need to pull it out of the dark arts as well. I have so many books. That's what I told my daughter. She's like, well then get rid of some. That's not helpful. It's not helpful at all. The only thing that bothers me is they're not all faced where I could just grab them like on a bookshelf and shit. It bothers me that I gotta dig through all this shit all the time. Oh, and I still didn't get you a visual. Picture me rolling. Thanks, Pac. See what I mean? Not useful. Not useful. Smartass. Always being a smartass. Fucking think shit funny all the time. Fucking piss me off. Alright. I don't even know where those cards are. Come on. Somebody help me out here, universe. These ones don't show it, do they? Nope. There's a scary picture to look at. I'm trying to get the freaking Kabbalah cards because it shows that little tree of life for you guys to stare at. They're like my smallest cards in a box of 40. Oh, I found them. They're on top. Thanks, God. Let's just pull one in from the middle. What do we get? The Warrior. We always get the Warrior. Let's pull a different one. How do you always do that? Because I'm a Warrior. Ooh, the Advisor. Alright, this is the Tree of Life. You guys put fucking, you put it into... Well, never mind. I'm seeing Metatron. Shut up, Metatron. Damn it, Metatron. Alright, never mind. I can calm down. I'm doing a teaching for him. Okay. Alright, I got you. Who is he? Enoch. Dun, dun, dun. He created all this shit. You see all that shit? I'm like, why'd you make it like this? He did it. He did it. It was him. He created the context of the matrix of your mind. Whatever. I think I've broken through that. I just want to point out. Thank you for that help. Alright, so what's in front of you? We talked about this so many times. And I just shared a video about it, and they told you about the beings that live within it. Where are we in this book? I don't know. Right here. We're talking about, and I've got to pronounce these. Oh, where's my pointer? And I need that other book to remind me. Dude, we need so many visuals. Can somebody pull out the backboard? Oh, we went to the zodiac signs. Give me a minute. You're shoving me with all kinds of shit. We're going to learn that too. Natal astrology. What are we learning right now? The fucking Tree of Life. Give me a second. I gotta find a picture of this shit for you. I mean, I have it on other things, but I need a bigger one for you to read. Or to see. Numbers, Latin. How is your Latin? Not that good. Names of power. Come on! Gene. Here it is again. Am I supposed to keep this open for them? Okay. Focus. You see it? One more time. I'm not going to keep this open for you. Okay? What does it say in this? I don't know. Probably a lot easier to read than the fucking Kabbalah. But this is you. Right? Oh, well, no. This is... Alright. It's a pain in my ass. Why? Because they added some of it into it. But all you need to know is this. Right? Right? So your foundation. That's earth. That's a reality. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Endurance. Majesty. Power. Beauty. Love. Wisdom. Understanding. The Supreme Crown. They make it a lot easier. But they have these names, and this is what I need you to pay attention. The Malkuth. The Yesod. The Netzah. We're about to talk about this one and these ones. We've been talking about the left side and how all that power, where they say that darkness comes from the left side, I think is in this book. And this is where the thrones would be, right? So that I want you to pay attention to that. I'm just giving you more visuals of it, right? Okay, so this is so, like, it's complex because you don't know the locations, and if I had it up on a board, you could follow it. Okay, so the Banah, which is this one. Got it? We're going to start there. Near the top of the Sephiroth ladder, meditation reaches Banah. She is called Teshuvah, return. The ego returns to the womb of the being. Banah cannot be held in thought. She is called Who, the meditative question, who am I? It's a state of being when you're in that part of the tree. It's when you question the who am I. The questioning yields nothing that can be grasped, but rather an intuitive flashing, illuminating, and disappearing, as sunbeams play on the surface of water. In the depths of the Banah lies the Hokmah. That's here. From the depths of here lies the Hokmah. The Hokmah is wisdom. The mystic is nourished from this sphere, profound and primal. It cannot be known consciously, only absorbed. In the words of Isaac, the blind, the one of the earliest Kabbalists of Providence, the inner subtle essence can be contemplated only by sucking, not by knowing. Why be sucking? Okay, the Hokmah is nothingness of the Keter. Where's the Keter? This is the Keter, right? It's the nothingness, right? And that's why I be in the nothingness of the Keter. The annihilation of thoughts. And that's it. I tell you all the time, I don't think. From, and that's where it is. From darkness, that's where it comes from, is the inspiration comes from thought. So we stay in the nothingness until we have that thought. Or unless we're just thinking stupid. In this ultimate Sephirah, human consciousness expands, dissolving into infinity. And that's from beyond thought, is infinity. Only rarely does the Zohar explicitly discuss meditation or mystical experiences. It focuses on theosophy, the interplay of the Sephiroth on the human conduct. Etherical and spiritual behaviors unite the Sephiroth, ensuring a flow of blessings and emanations to the lower worlds. Unetherical or evil human activities disrupt the union above, empowering demonic forces. Well, that's what it kind of happened last night. It's like I was all chilling and you want to invoke some demonic forces. Alright. Ecstatic Kabbalah. Alongside the theophysical system, other Kabbalists developed an ecstatic Kabbalah. The emphasis here is on meditative techniques, especially the recitation of divine names and combinations of letters of the Hebrew alphabet based on Sephra Yes to the Higher. It's probably a book. They said that last night when I read about my Lilith book. That's what they would use. The rabbi said in the name of, who did he say? Metatron, Actriel, Sandalphone, someone else. He called in those names. And we just read about the powers of the names. There's power in the name of Christ. That's what she said. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Are you serious right now? Were you taught to say that? You just blurt blasphemy in the name of Christ at me? I told her directly to her face, back up. I'm doing religious ceremonies. I'm a witch. Back up. Don't touch my ashtray. Back up. Back up. You would not just, and this is like somebody come get your kid, God. You wouldn't just run up to the fucking front of the church while they're over there anointing the altar, bro. Singing hymns and burning the holy fucking herbs. Your fucking stupid kid is over here trying to touch my fucking holy herbs. Can you get your stupid kid? And then they get mad because I won't let them touch it and want to slap at me. If you don't get this motherfucking kid out of my face, God. And what did God say? I got it. I know exactly. We send Lamia. She takes care of the children. Jesus Christ. Well, all right then. God be with you. In the essence of, don't fuck around. Don't fuck around. I'm just saying. Citing people in the name of words. And that's where it is these priests go in and they use all of these, incantations, recited fucking words of the Bible to cast out spirits and shit. Oh, I'm calling. What? What? The most prominent ecstatic Kabbalist was Abraham Abulufia. That's a great one. Born in Spain in 1240, Abulufa, I don't know, traveled and lived in Italy, Sicily, Greece, and the land of Israel. That's interesting. In these travels, he may have been influenced by Sufism and yoga. He combined the teachings of the Sephirah, whatever, that book, with Maimonides' theory of prophecy, expanding the technique for achieving a state of inspiration through the infusion of human and divine intellects. And that's really it. What's happening here? The Hindus are learning how to access Christ and the holy realms of Christ. And the Christians are learning how to access the Hindus. And we are all playing in the dark. Welcome. We're being a family. We're playing right. And that's what I said in my other video. I'll upload it. I just was like, they don't know how to think. I'll upload the videos. I'm not denying you information. It's just like, after it's done, it's like, nobody's going to get this. Why do I even give this to them? It's not mine to give. It's God's to give. I'll just be holding back because I'm like, they're not going to do anything good with this. He thinks you can do great things. Anyways, moving on. And that's what it says, is this guy went to all these places and he learned new techniques that allowed him to ascend even further. And that's what I'm teaching to the silo. He's a whole Buddhist, bro. He don't know about darkness and shit and how people's minds be all fucked up and we had fucked up ass childs and how we fucking project that fucking weird ass programming into the world. He's not Americanized. He don't know how fucking fucked up we are over here as gunslinging mass Americans. They see us on TV, but they don't know. We see you on TV, but we don't know. We're bringing the knowing. And that's what it is. He's watching my videos and understanding, and he uses his teachings to expand his people to a better understanding of what we are, or the mind in general. That's all we're trying to do, is teach you how to work through your mind. That's Sangaru over there with his fucking dress and happy face. How come both of you guys get a dress? And Jesus wore a dress. Alright, fine enough. According to, none of us want anything touching our skin, right? According to the Bathalufa, the soul is part of a stream of cosmic life. This is exactly what Krishna said, and I tried to explain it, and it's just mind-blowing. Our awareness, though, is limited by sensory perception. Our minds cluttered with sensible forms. The goal is to untie the knots that bind the soul, to free the mind from definition. I call it reprogramming. Actually, what am I specialized? Shadow work. What do you do? I do shadow work, the reprogramming of your mind. We visit your freaking inner child traumas and re-heal them with the Christ consciousness. Oh, that's so cool. It's not. Do you want to talk about your childhood traumas? Do you want to talk about how you're not right by people and by God, and we need to get you right and clean you up so you're not so hurt by your experiences? Oh, no, I didn't think so. High five, motherfucker. Get out of my life. Until you're ready to do some shit. People think what I do is so cool. Oh, that sounds so cool. You want to talk about it? You want to talk about your mommy issues? You want to talk about how the world has done you wrong? How you got a chip on your shoulder? Come on, I'm about to break you down. No, that's what I specialize in. They specialize in the building. They build you up. I break you down. And that's what it is that's what we need to do. The goddess of destruction has to, break down your false realities, and then we take the lighter side of life, and they build you up. We rebuild you in better structures of thinking. And that's how the Palladians came in. This chick was studying the programming of dolphin minds. And she understood the programming of our minds and then all of a sudden the program switched and she was on a different channel with aliens. And that's what it is too. All of that is telepathic. Oh, I said that to Wolfman yesterday. I said, what? Are we going to start having telepathic communications now? Meaning I could hear his thoughts. He was questioning me about something. Really? Yeah. That's it. It's all, I'm not even going to try to explain that when we go back to the twin flames and the energetic connection, what it really is, the language of energy that we're... It's really, there's words coming out of our mouth that are pretty hateful and ugly, but that's not what the connection is. And that's not the connection that you have with a tree, or with the wind, or with a puppy dog, or a baby that goes by, or that other person that gave you that stink-ass look in the fucking doorway of fucking some fucking place that you were just trying to get through the door, and they gave you a stink-ass look. Listen here, stink bitch. I know what you're thinking. Just kidding. What's she thinking? She's having a stink life, and you can see it on her face. Stink hoe. Alright, move on. What are we talking about, God? Jesus, your mind. That's right. Stink-ass shit comes out of your mind. But how, if one meditates on abstract truth, however sublime, there is still a specific object of meditation, a limited meaning. Abalufa instead recommends focusing on pure forms of the letter of the alphabet or the name of God. And that's what they study. Do you know that those... Where's that little thing? I keep putting it away. These little markings right here. This one. And this one, 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 and this one. These are alphabet. Those are Hebrew letters. You want to know something else I just taught you yesterday? That those are tarot cards. They use alphabet letters or runes. It's all the same divination. You're asking God where you are in your ascension. They have a different way of seeing. This is where it gets ugly with, Sangaru. I don't think he understands the structure of enlightenment. Why? Because he doesn't, once he became a guru, did he start studying it, or he just says, I know it all? Did he go back to the teachings? Is he really reading it again? Do you know what I mean? Is he connecting with, is he God, or is he, connecting with gods and still honoring, his position? Did he step into the position of the high priest? Or he's just, a messenger. And that's where it is I still have to do all the priesty work that goes with it, other than just being the messenger. The priesty work is what makes the message. But in the hierarchies of, the ascension path, this is just a way of seeing it. And they saw, it's divination. I can show you. I have this whole map with this card. It's a whole map of it. You're supposed to put the cards down. You know what I mean? And based on that, that would tell you where you are in your ascension. I do that with 3 cards in tarot. We don't really need to do that. I can do that with 5 cards in the fucking, in the Black Moon Lilith. We can do it with everything to see where we are. And that's what it is. It's like you can always see where you are and where you're supposed to be going, but it's up to your free will. And that goes back to Steve's Love Tarot. I'm not a fucking Time Lord, and I can't tell you, I can't predict free will. But the energy says that they should move in this. And that's what it is. The energy is... So if you ever want to know what I'm doing, you know that I'm moving with the energy. Listen to it. Listen to what's going on in the energy, and you know what's going on me. Because I flow with the energy, but not everybody does. You know what I mean? When that Sagittarius full moon came and made people want to be impulsive, not everybody went with it. They used their logical mind. They denied their feelings. The energy is in your feelings. Do you go with the flow of your feelings? The ebb and tide of that. The moon is the ebb and tide. It's all of man, a mentality where you're trying to just, go through the day and you don't see what's going through you in a day, which is flowing or not. And that's where we call you spiritually constipated, where you have not left anywhere. You're still down here learning basic ass, bullshit ass, punk ass lessons. I, as Hecate, have come through here to guide you to here, and all of these, and that's what I said, I'm just a guide into this. Hecate did nothing but guide you, so is Lilith and shit like that. I don't live in these places. I tell you who does. What's in each of these realities when you get into them. The first part of leaving your mind is into your angels, and your angels are all of the spirit, which is the dead world. I did that on Monday, told you about all of the spirit world, right? I'm slowly but surely breaking you into your archangels. We're going to bring this back again, right? But at the same time, you're making the descent down. So the first one you're going to meet is your dark angels. Then you're going to meet the dukes of hell. And that's where it is you start going deeper into hell. They don't have it, and that's where we pull the Dante's cards, is we're in the 7th hell. We're in the 11th hell. We're in, levels of hell. But then in the light, the next day we're in the light. And that's just it. Well, where are we in the light? It's still, if we're here in the light, then we're here in the dark. Who is Who is the opposite? And that's where it is like, if we're up here with Kobe, then we're equally facing Khalik, which is what the cherubim. I'm just saying that, if you're over here with Christ, then what is the opposite of Christ? You're facing straight up Lucifer. Do you know what I mean? And that's where it is like, and that's the polarity of balancing the dark and the light. And it is balanced within the universe, but not within the universe of yourself. You don't balance your light and dark. And that's, as these energies come into play, which is the planetary movement, it's pushing the energy inside of you to take action. That's where you get these mass conscious fucking, collective readings, where there's 250 fucking thousand people on a page that are all going through the same shit. Because they're in that vibration of the tree of life. They're all being shook in the same areas of their life. Down to the same details is happening. They're all stuck in that. You know what I mean? They're stuck in this part of hell. And this is their suffering. And this is what they'll endure. Dante paints that. As we ascend out of that hell, simultaneously, we're in this part of heaven. And we're learning from our, the light beings. We had to go through the hell to get to the heaven. But otherwise, you just stay in hell. And that's not Dante, but Carl Jung. Your mind is hell. Your mind is all chaotic, and that's what all of us teach. You have to go into the pits of your, soul searching. You have to go into your thoughts and into your feelings to find your soul, to find your heart, to find what makes you beat again. And that's that journey into the dark night of your soul. You're going into the depths of your feelings in your heart. Who do you meet? Me! Hey! Hi! How are you? That's where I get you through this. And that's simultaneously, I'm down there telling you who's down here with you, the light, that they're here with you, that your angels are here with you. You can just, all you got to do is go through this trial. Right? My last video, I'll upload it. It's like, the reason that people can't keep up with me is because I'm always changing, evolving. Can I say something to you? I never seen it until earlier. In here, this is another piece of jewelry that broke. 2 of them, or 3 of them. You see all those evil eyes? They were all staring at me, and as I saw that, I saw the seraphim, not the cherubim, the dominions. They always say they have all these eyes, right? The evil eyes. The evil eyes. All of God's beings had eyes. All eyes on you, bro. I just kind of looked at that. It's like you're always being watched, and that's the Watchers. But basically, this is what it is everybody was trying to ascend to God in all different ways, and obviously through meditation and stuff like that, down to Aleister Crowley and shit. You wanted to get the power of God and be a God amongst men. Men just wanted to be one with God again. Most men. And that's the difference, is most people want to be a god amongst men. I am a goddess. I've always been a goddess. I don't claim to be something. I don't need to be what I already am. But they want to be something that they're not. And so they'll go to great lengths to have power over others. And dominion. Lovely. You're playing God, are you? You're the powers that be. You're all virtuous. You have dominion over other ones. You sit at the highest throne. You ever heard those sayings before? They all come from that little guy that you guys made. Or he made. You didn't make it. He told you. Just like they told you how to build the fucking tabernacle. They told you specifications. This guy, Bob the Building bitch. Just kidding. I'd just be disrespecting the shit out of this whole thing. Why? Because, whatever. I don't care. It's not like it's, whatever. Alright, let's go. Recommended focusing on pure forms of letter of the alphabet or the name of God. Here, there is no concrete particular meaning, no distraction, just music of pure thought. I told you, frequencies, music. I'm just always listening to music. As the highest form of the meditation, and that's it. This whole thing started with the seraphim. They're just sitting there praising God. That's what they're made to do. They sing the praises of God. They're God's boy band. Really? Yeah. He's all about praise him. And you wonder where that God complex comes from in you, is what I said in my last video. I'll upload it after this one. He made you to just sing his praises. That's what I'm trying to tell these fucking rappers. Bro, if you don't start speaking his praises, he's gonna take your voice. That's what he made you for, bro. He made you for that. To sing his praises. In essence, you could think that you were at the highest, but, that's what he made you for. Why did he give you such power? To sing his praises, douchebags. The seraphim, that's all they did. I told you, that's all that's going on up here. A bunch of fucking holy shit. You're just singing how great God is. That's all we ever really do, is you're supposed to praise him. It's all in that last video. As the highest form of meditation, Abalufa recommends jumping or skipping, a type of free associated between various combinations of letters guided by very lax rules. What do? Dance, bitch. Dance. Dance. Move your chakras, bro. Let the joy outside. Let people see it move through your body. The fucking music, the frequency of love, dude. Let them see it move through your body. As you exhibit that, right? And that's why worship music is at everything. There's always at least a fucking drum. Drop the drums, the drum kit. And you're supposed to move with the feeling, with the frequency. You really feel it. And in those movements, people stare at you and they can feel it, your movements, and it spreads. It's a vibration. That's why I'm being called to dance through the Vatican. You know what I mean? To spread the vibration of love. You're truly in love when you can let yourself be free like that. When you can dance with everybody watching. And like nobody's watching. When you can let yourself go fucking full-on maniac. People have to put in a lot of alcohol and hide it dark on Fridays and Saturday nights. Or, they like to cook in the summer festivals and shit. But that's freedom to them, where they can just express themselves through their body, through their clothes, but basically through the music. They can let go through the music and let it flow through their body, which is, it's an energetic transmission. All these people are, letting loose, and they're they're putting that energy down to the ground, and they're pushing the energy out on each other. There's always those that are, are abusing it and are not in the frequency of love at these concerts and shit, but for the most part, that's why people go to music, to let loose. To be in the frequency of their favorite artists, Now that's where I go back to Russ. Bro, your fucking shit is so negative. So negative. And that's alley. You just want people to cry at your shit, be all sad and in their feelings and shit. This is not a let loose, but it is for them. A place where they can pour out their darkest feelings. And that's something I don't agree with that. I would rather get ragey with Marshall and, you know, punch the world in their face kind of feeling. But we all have those feelings. I just don't want to do it in public with a bunch of people in the same feelings. I don't want to be angry with a bunch of angry people. I want to be sad with a bunch of sad people. I don't want to pay to be sad or angry. And that's where I went back to, would I pay for a concert? And then I went back to it, I was like, I would so pay to go to a Coldplay concert. Taylor Swift, something with a lot of movement, a lot of, you know, happiness and shit. I'll be that dad at the Taylor Swift concert, that'd be great. A lot of joy and excitement. Oh my god! You know, all that. Even if you're just watching them, you're like, damn, they are so in love, they are losing it. Are they passing out? Jeez. It's just R. Kelly. Be careful now. That's what it is. It's like your expression of your admiration, joy, and love is witnessed by others, and it fills them with joy and love just watching you. You ever just watch somebody that's over there, you know, at a bus stop dancing? You're like, that's cool. You see somebody jamming, you're like, that's cool. They put a smile on your face when you see them, you know, a happy person, unless you're just an asshole. Oh, I hate them. Okay, well, go hate somewhere else, hater. Anyways, thereby conscious expands. Something. Abulafia came to see him as playing the Masonic role, and he actually attended a meeting with Pope Nicholas III in the summer of 1280, apparently to discuss theological and political questions. The Pope condemned him to death by burning, but before the sentence could be carried out, the Pope himself died. After a month in prison, Abulafia was released. I'm just like, what? The Pope tried to kill a man? Man, the Catholic clergy is something else. His prophetic and Masonic pretenses, and that's, I mean, they hung Jesus. That's why I'm like, geez, that's nice. Masonic pretensions, you couldn't go against their gods, bro. The religious wars and the religious crusades have been on forever. They will die for their God. When 9/11, God told you to do this? No way. You had an idea and you went a little far, but, you know, it's for the glory of God. In the essence, I mean, I guess they did. If you look back at it, like, geez, God, that was a great idea. The Masonic pretenses aroused the opposition of a leader, rabbinic authority, Solomon Andret of Barcelona, who condemned Abulafia as a charlatan. As a result, he was forced to flee to the desolate island of Camino near Malta, and his influence on Spanish Kabbalah was minimized. In the Middle East, and that's it, it's blasphemy. And that's where I lose people. You can't mix Jesus with witchcraft, Hindus and fucking Mormons and all this. Watch me. You just don't want to be part of it? Fine, go be part of your own fucking segregation. Go away. Go away. And that's where people are. And that's why he got, you know what I mean? That's why I was going to say castrated, but hung. And that's what Jesus did too. Is giving you a higher understanding is, you know, freeing the people. That's why they killed Martin Luther King. Giving them freedom to make choices. To not be ruled by these stupid fucking traditional text messages. And that's what it is. It's like he went and if you listen to what I said, he went over to, where was it? Italy, Sicily, Greece, and the island of Israel. He learned new techniques, right? And he incorporated those techniques and he tried to bring them back, and they said it was blasphemy, and they tried to condemn him for meddling with pagan religions and bringing them, you know, uncleanliness into their religion. Jesus didn't preach anything that wasn't preached. They just denied that he was their preacher. They wouldn't allow him to have that authority to change. But they knew the Messiah was coming to make the change. They didn't allow him to be the change. And in essence, it didn't matter who it was going to be. They were going to persecute the change to begin with. And this is where we're talking about. These are the fucking rabbis that hung him. They knew their way to God, and you could only go their way. And that's every fucking religion across the fucking board. All I show you is that they had a way to God, and and you can't get all the way there without knowing all the ways. And that goes back to the silo and the guru. They're learning. They knew about Christians and how crazy they were in their beliefs, but they didn't understand the foundation. We knew about Hindus and Buddhism, but we didn't understand the fucking foundation of their beliefs. As I'm breaking into Jewish mysticism and we're about to learn the Quran, and most definitely what I'm really excited about is the teachings of Christ passed on by Mary Magdalene. She had no authority to have authority, so she just spoke quietly. And that's a quiet testimony, a quiet messenger. She wasn't Aradia, who was, went out there as a known witch. I am the messenger. I am here to teach you this message. She wasn't asked to do something, but she could, it lived on throughout her. And that's it. It's like, no, Mary Magdalene was a whore. Where'd you read that? You do know that the Catholic Church came back and said that that was a lie, right? Oh, you didn't read that part of the book? Stop it. You guys in your, one belief systems. And that's where this all kind of goes down to is, so, basically they were out to get him because he was meddling with other gods. And the bottom of it, dude, that's what happened to Mother Cabrini. Mother Cabrini was sent out here, to watch over, but she realized through the children their pagan beliefs. She tried to take that understanding back to the Catholic Church, and they completely denied it. But they also denied that the sighting of Mother Mary on Mother Cabrini's shrine, although there was thousands and thousands of witnesses. When was this? The 1990s? I think it was exactly 1990 it happened. They saw the image of Mother Mary. Many people flocked there. They were healed. They smelt roses. Some of them went blind. All kinds of crazy stuff. Eventually, somebody from the Catholic clergy, a pope, to investigate it, and when it was all said and done, he said it wasn't real. It was all up to one man, not the thousands of people that were healed, but one man of the church said it wasn't real. I'm telling you, that is a holy place. As much as Red Rocks is. It was holy before I got here, bro. I just tapped into the holiness of it. And that's those, holy lands that you guys, most of them are national parks. The government took these holy lands and they made them national reserved. They were reserved for the nation. They were just holy lands, bro. Going back to, the hot springs or the fucking rivers, the mountains, anything that had, and that's just agricultural. That's what the whole wars are, is we're going to take your resources. A lot of those places, holy lands, bro. And that's, people flock to Jerusalem, to the holy lands, to be part of the holy experience. You don't have to go to the land to be part of it, but you can feel it in the land because, the earth, it has all the secrets. You can feel it. It tells you as you sit there, and you connect to the earth, you can really hear what's going on. And that's where I can sit there and see what has happened in this land. You know what I mean? What it was before you guys made it what it is, and how many people walked this land, and what happened on this land. And that's me as a cleanser. I'll go in there and I'll do something as simple as lighting a sage, paying homage to these visions that I'm seeing, blowing out smoke, tobacco or weed or whatever that is. You know what I mean? Doing the rituals, praying, playing music, honoring the land. That's what I mean about, cleaning the land. I do a bunch of that shit. A bunch of that. Because you're always stepping on it. You have to sweep it. Spiritually. But you guys do. We break it down, They break it down and rebuild it, and they break it down and they rebuild it. They have to dig into the dirt and, pull it to fix pipes and shit. God makes it that way. There's always construction, which in essence is breaking down the energy that's there. Going back to Columbine and shit. They stepped in an energy. We all come across a really hateful energy, a really evil energy. It's like what came over them, an energy. You have to be able to alchemize all kinds of energy, which is through your feelings. And that's what it is. You stepped into something and now it's activated your feelings. And you're going crazy in your mind. It's just energy, spirit, if you will. People think that, graveyards are haunted with dark spirits. That's not true. You laid the spirit to sleep. It's the quietest place on earth. Graveyards are nothing but resting places for the spirit. So a spirit like you can go and find rest with your family. A spirit like me can go and be there and rest. There's nothing, All things have been laid to rest in the graveyard. There's no, in the essence, they catch, I've seen those videos where the Tesla video will catch, the movement of spirits. You just are afraid of it. It doesn't mean it's bad. And anything you fear, energy feeds off that fear. What is it? You're afraid you saw something, so now your mind creates something. And now you're running from something. And so then naturally, the energy that you run into, you associate as a bad something. You were just in a bad state of mind when you went out there. They're not fucking with you. Nobody's fucking with you. I mean, it's your own darkness that fucks with you. Let's see here. So yeah, this guy was fucked for toying around with other fucking teachings. Let's see. Camino. In Palestine, Abba Lufia's ideas were combined with Sufi elements, and in this way, Sufi views were introduced into the Kabbalah. So I think this is going to go into the 1492, the Jews were expelled from Spain, along with tens of thousands of other exiles. Kabbalists made their way to North Africa, Italy, and Eastern Mediterranean. And that's it. They've always gone after the Jews. They never had a place to call home. They made sure that they didn't have a home. Disseminating mystical ideas. By the middle of the 16th century, Kabbalah, with the Zohar as its nucleus, had become an important spiritual factor in Jewish life. A growing stream of Kabbalists began arriving in Palestine. This could help us to understand what's going on out there. Jerusalem served as the first center, but began in the 1540s. The village of Safe, I don't know how to pronounce it. Safed, became dominant. Perched high above the Sea of Galilee, commanding immense vistas, Safed seems to verge on heaven. The mystics here believed, based on the passage of the Zohar, that if one community lived a life of holiness, the Messiah would soon arrive. Really? Which strove to be the ideal community, supporting and urging one another. One of their ritual invocations was welcoming the Sabbath on Friday evening. Walking out to the fields before sunset, they would sing greetings to the Sabbath bride and queen, who was none less than the Shekinah, the feminine presence of God. A poem written in Safed for the occasion. It's in Jewish. Open with words. Come, my beloved, to greet the bride. Let us welcome the presence of the Sabbath. Today, this poem is sung weekly in synagogues and Jewish homes throughout the world. Did you know they were singing to Goddess? I didn't. A leading figure in the mystical community of Safed was Moses Cordovioro, 1522 to 1570, who blended the Zohar with ecstatic Kabbalah, already flourishing in Jerusalem. I'm being guided to stop right there. Everybody had a holy scripture, bro. And they were trying to get people to God according to their scripture. Everybody swears they know the way and only that way. I'm seeing Mr. Plum. Mr. Plum is a devout Christian. He's part of the Church of Christ. He will only attend a Church of Christ, and they work together with the network of Church of Christ that are spread out, which are a lot of the Calvary chapels are part of the Church of Christ. For those that need to understand how this works, they're a family of churches. I got into a heated conversation. It's in my YouTube videos, bro. It's in the middle of probably last summer where I had to leave. We got into this big argument because we were talking about, I don't know, but Miss Fry is a Baptist Christian. And we were talking about the baptism and stuff like that. And he said his understanding, and that's where we got into this. It's not his belief, it's his understanding. There's a difference. Right? His understanding of what he's been taught is that she will not make it into heaven because of the way of the baptism. She wasn't baptized under the way of the teachings. So she will not make it in because she didn't fulfill the correct sacred rituals and acts. Which this is a Christ-loving woman her entire life. You're telling me because she didn't wash her pussy the right way, or on the right day, she doesn't enter the kingdom? And I got into an argument with him, and I told him, with that view, you'll watch her walk in front of you. That's not what this was about. It was about making sure that everyone got back to the kingdom of Christ. Now, once you brought him in the church, you told him that you use these laws to make them loyal to you and your church. You took away the loyalty to Jesus' teaching of kindness, and you made them loyal to your church. And I said this to Mr. Plum. He'll entertain the Mormons, right? The Mormon boys will come over and, sit with him for an hour and just chop it up, right? He has a good friend that's a Muslim. But he could never, you know what I mean? In the sense of his belief is none of them are going to heaven. Or his understanding. I don't think he believes that in his heart. And that's what I said, is his understanding, because of his teachings for his whole life from his church, they will not go to heaven unless they convert and practice the way that they do. That is the exact same understanding across the board. The Hindus believe unless you get this, you're not gonna get enlightenment. The Buddhists believe that unless you get this, you're not going to get enlightenment. Every church believes that unless you get this and do this, you're not going to get God. And in essence, they're telling you you're not worthy of God because you're not walking and talking and acting like them. And then you have people that have never heard the word of God, and that's where the missionaries of Christ come in. They're trying to spread the word, to give you your healing, to give you your freedom, to bring you back, to make you part of a community. You were a lost soul, and they want you to have a family in God. But it's a church family that's regulated, and you must act appropriately. And that goes back to, Sheldon and them getting kicked out of the Baptist church, and how they lose their community and their townships and their position, and everybody's, if you were to, any of that, break their rules. And each of them have their own fucking rules. So it's like, which God rules for you? In essence, they're all praising God, and they're all persecuting man. God is pleased with the praising, he's not pleased with the persecuting. It's like a half and half. You're getting half of this right, so I'll give you half a brownie badge. He's pleased with your praising. He's not pleased with your persecuting of others. Jesus didn't persecute others. And he didn't deny his power. And it was those that were non-faith, not of the faith. It was the non-believers that came to him in belief. And he gave them the power of God. Bestowed it upon them, healing and everything. It was the non-believers that believed. The ones that didn't believe the text messages of the temples, that believed in Christ. And now they had a new belief. They had a new God. They had a good God, because the shit that came out of his mouth was good. He told you how to be good in an unjust world. They say that that's what they want you to do, but they're unjust in this world, in their good works, is what these templemen are, Templetons. No matter how you look at it, bro, I see it. The guru judges us. He judges us Americans. The silo doesn't. He questions all things. The guru judges us, and especially me. I'm a female, a white female, all of this. And that goes back to these Israelis. They judge me, not knowing that I am God in the female form. I am their prophet from before in the female form. And all of their times of their ancestors praised me as they praised the God that I come to bring to you. I never tell you to praise me. I tell you to acknowledge the feelings that are in you that are of me, but I put all praises to God. I bring you through all of this to God. All the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what I heard. They all started in one land, and they ventured out. They all had the paradise city, the fucking, the Garden of Eden. And they set out all the way to the Wild Wild West. And that's those religious wars and all of that, the Spanish Inquisition, all of it. It was in the name of God. Everything was. Power and control in the name of God. In the name of God. In the name of God. I'm gonna stop there. It was a way of life before, before Jesus, after Jesus, and there's those that are of the light and of the dark that still wear this way of life. Because this is the dark arts book that I was showing you. They access the dark arts. And that's, somebody like Wolfman over there that knows this information but uses it just to become a god amongst men, not to become closer to God. He wasn't searching for love. He was searching for power. He wasn't searching for clarity and peace. He was searching for success. He was on the wrong side of he was ascending, but in essence descending. And he'll never find the true power until he knows what he's searching for. And that's it. There's no power in success. There's no power in pride. I just had to give mine up yesterday. Again, always take it off. There's no power in this. But that's what they tried to use this as, is power and dominion over others. And that's that knowing, where I can sit in front of my Bible and tell you how you're a bad person. I don't tell you that you're bad. I laugh at you and say you're pathetic and that you need to get right. Anybody can get right. No matter how upset I get in a situation, I can show you that this person can be forgiven and be right, and how we can give them forgiveness. How we can have we can have understanding about them. And that's where it really is the narrow minds of the church. I did see that this new pope has a zero tolerance for the abuse. He's coming in to address the abuse. You can't expect him to fix everything in this whole fucking structure across the world. He's one man, but he'll do his best to fix, what has been destroyed from the men before him. He'll try to make it a better structure, going back to, the Pope and the whole religious structure. This is a chance for someone new to come in, but if they come in with the same old fucking traditions and the same old intentions, and they're afraid to make change and, to shake the temple, then no change will be made, and we'll just stay stagnant in the ability to be more Christ-like. Christ calls for openness. And that starts in your mind, having an open mind and an open heart. Okay? There's a whole bunch in that. Thanks, Mother Cabrini. She's Catholic. She's the only Catholic they know. When I started this, I was like, I don't know a Jewish person. I don't know any Jews to put up here. And I was like, Jesus was a Jew. It was the funniest fucking thing. It was the biggest laugh through the universe. I am such a dork when it comes to shit like that. I don't know everything of this world. I know everything about other worlds. You're supposed to teach me about this world, and I'm supposed to teach you about the other worlds. It's supposed to be an equal give and take. I'm taking on a lot of shit here. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. What is this? More God. Oh my God. I just don't know what to tell you. It's just all God. All flavors of it. I hope it made sense to you. When I started this, I was like, this ain't gonna make sense. Make it make sense. It's not enough. Make it enough. Hey, happy Thirsty Thursday. I'll catch you later, haters. Be Christ-like and all that. Laters.